I'm very hungover today, so I've not been on Twitter much if you've noticed. I was absolutely dreading this game of football because I thought, I'm hungover, it's going to happen. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Manchester City have just beat Burnley 1-0 away from home at Turf Moor in a gruelling, horrible, nerve-wracking 90 minutes, but we did it. But as ever, guys, this channel is sponsored by OneFootball, as you can see down the stats side of me, so go and give it a download. It's a really good app, and I promise you, you won't regret it at all. Go and download it. It's dead good. But anyway, back to this. I am absolutely exhausted today, genuinely knackered, drank far too much last night, had a good night, and I've been sat here today thinking, right, it's going to go wrong, we're going to go wrong today, everything's going to go against us. Been fearing the absolute worst, but honestly, we were absolutely fantastic. I thought, right, the context of this game, it was just so important. This was a Burnley team, largely, hugely in form. In fact, they were absolutely fantastic. Recently, I think like they're currently the top 6-7 form for the country. They've been playing like the Burnley of last season, put it that way. We could obviously remember last season when we went away to Burnley, we drew there. It's a big game still in Leicester City. It was a huge moment, and Guardiola wasn't happy with the performance that time. The season before that, it was 2-1 away with Aguero, but it was a battle then. And Burnley is always a battle. On paper, the games left, this was, on paper at very least, the hardest one there. We come through now, United, Spurs and Burnley away. It's stunningly good. It's really good. The team, he went for a very strong team. I was very happy to see that. He went for Kompany and Laporte at centre-back, two big blokes with a lot of physicality. Walker and Zinchenko, no Mendy, yeah, again. Edison in goal, of course. And then he went for what basically ended the United game. The Gundogan, the two Silvers, Sterling, Sane, and Aguero. And it was basically our strongest team. It was a decent one. Into the first half, it reminded me once again of the Man United. Sorry, I'm just watching the screen now. Guardiola going up to the fans, doing that, saluting them. Oh, it's great stuff. But yeah, that first 30 minutes reminded me of the United game a little bit in terms, it took us a while to get going, maybe the nerves, the occasion. Burnley were really up for it too, obviously very defiant. Burnley, a very good team. We had a few decent little chances. Bernardo had one, Silva had a half chance where he couldn't turn it in. Aguero couldn't connect to this kind of looped Gundogan pass when he really should have done better. But essentially we started to turn the screw about half an hour in, and I thought after that, even though I was worried, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Got the shakes today and everything. I still was confident when I saw that we started to turn the screw, like we did the United game around the half an hour mark. Got our confidence, started to get behind Burnley, that we'd eventually get the goal. And the first half, basically, it came maybe a bit too soon for Burnley, because too soon for us because we started turning the screw. But the second half, we came out an absolute, like, we're on fire. We're absolutely on fire. We should have had a penalty, obviously. Ashley Bartland with a clear handball. I don't know how the referee missed that. And then Bernardo blasted it at the keeper. Walker pointed a great cross. There's a few more kind of pull shots before Aguero scored the scrappiest of goals. It wasn't the scrappiest of goals. He scored much on that. Where the ball went over by 29 millimetres, 2.9 centimetres. And that basically got us the goal. Q delirium in the way end, a massive moment for Aguero, who deserved that goal hugely. There was also nearly an absolute stunner for Gabriel Jesus when he came on. A wonderful first touch after a delightful kind of crossfield ball from Kyle Walker, span past the defender, round the keeper, and what a block from the ex-blue Ben Mee. As about to curse him, I kind of tentatively know Ben Mee, my brother's best mate. So my brother's best mates, his brother's best mate's sister is married to Ben Mee, so he's kind of like, I don't know him, but he's like linked to my brother basically in a way, and he's obviously an ex-City lad. Hate mail. I would have found out where he lived and give him hate mail. No, I wouldn't really, obviously. But it didn't matter in the end. It really didn't matter. Essentially, City played the game out after that point. Burnley had no real energy, no real desire to try and get back into that. I mean, they tried, but we defended largely pretty good in the second half. We just saw it out, really. Loads of defensive substitutions. We turned into the Catalan Dyche Guardiola, because he brought on Stones and Otamendi. We had 4 centre-backs on the pitch. Something that you never thought you'd see Guardiola do, but he did it. He's adapted to the English ways. He's more pragmatic than ever. It was a fantastic result as we saw it out. Honestly, I was refreshing. My stream was behind. I was refreshing Twitter constantly. Edison, I thought was great. one particular great save when he came rushing out. I thought his composure, as ever, was absolutely crucial. Edison, you're an absolute star, mate. Right back, Kyle Walker, once again, I thought was excellent. Kyle Walker's in great form. He really is stepping up at the moment. You've got to give him credit. He's a fantastic fullback. His desire, his work rate, his attitude, and technically, I thought he was so good when he received the ball today. Driving in field, running past people once again. Just a brilliant fullback. Kyle Walker, fantastic once again. Kompany and Laporte. Given that Burnley are a massive, big physical team, you didn't really see much of their big physical players, and that's probably credit to Kompany and Laporte, who were both solid, won all the aerial duels, won the second balls. They were very good, very strong, and fair play to them. I can't really criticise either of them. Maybe both a little bit lacking in the ball at times. Laporte in particular, actually, in the first half, in terms of defensive, he was fine, but going forward, some of his passes were a little bit sloppy. There was a lack of communication between Zinchenko, Laporte and Sane at times. It was a bit blah, 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 but it didn't matter in the end. Zinchenko, very mixed game. First half, it was pretty poor, if we're being totally honest. He didn't really link up with Sane at all. It looked like a kind of triangle players there in terms of Laporte, Zinchenko, Sane, who hadn't played together much. And I guess it's because they literally hadn't. It wasn't a very kind of cohesive partnership, and Zinchenko suffered from it, kind of second-guessing himself, dilly-dallying on the ball, and that kind of stuff. But he was better in the second half, won some good challenges when he mattered. And basically, he was there. He was reliable. He did his job. Gundogan was as majestic as ever on the ball. Put his foot in a few times. It was a good, solid performance from Gundogan. Silva battled as well. David Silva showed he's a little fighter, as he always is. It wasn't his crazy best. I thought he had a decent little game. I don't think anyone had a bad game for what it's worth. I thought Silva was another that had a good, solid 7 out of 10. Bernardo, you got to love his work rate. It's weird. It's not weird. It's notable, actually, that for the first 30 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes, he was actually more traditionally as a number 8, kind of central. But quite soon on, Sterling and him kept switching, and he was out wide quite a lot, Bernardo. And it shows how good he's out wide, because he just runs at people for fun. He made the goal in the end with a little through ball to Aguero. And Bernardo was just typically tenacious as ever. I love him. I genuinely love him. I think he's the best midfielder in the league at the moment, hands down. Just tenacious, intelligent, can't get the ball off him. Absolutely fantastic. Sterling didn't have a good game. It sounds hypercritical, he just didn't. I don't think he had a good game at all. He worked as hard as ever. It just didn't come off for him at all individually. I don't think anything he could do really worked today, but he worked. Sane, I thought, was abysmal in the first 45, unfortunately. If you want to get into the team, and a lot of people say, why is Sane not playing? I guess that's why. There was nowhere near. He wasn't the only one, to be fair. I'm going to put it out there, but he was nowhere near as energetic as he should have been. It's just my dad saying that was a hard 3 points. It was a hard 3 points, Dad. But that was Sane needs to do a lot more if he wants to basically get in that team when he comes in, because he's got a point to prove to Guardiola. He needs to be more tenacious. He came off eventually for Gabriel Jesus, who had a considerable more impact. A fantastic little goal he nearly had. He was offside at one point as well, of course, but he put in lots of skill on the left wing and worked really hard. Aguero, I thought, was excellent. I thought at times in the first half he was the only one actually dropping deep, trying to make something. He was taking more responsibility than anyone, and his touch was fantastic all game. He was turning and running at people, and now he's got 20 goals in 5 consecutive Premier League seasons. The only other player to do that, Thierry Henry. Aguero is phenomenal. I love him loads. I thought he was fantastic. His work rate, his desire, the passion, the intensity, the skill, the courage. Absolutely love him. Overall, it's just huge. I was absolutely dreading having to face doing a video today in the current fragile state I'm in. I was thinking, please don't do it. I'm worried it's going to happen. But now we've won, and we've got to beat Leicester and Brighton to win the Premier League. It's as simple as that. Liverpool have got to beat Newcastle and Wolves and hope we drop a point, or so drop a couple of points. It looks... These 2 last games, touch wood, they look a lot more evenly balanced than the recent run of the games. I think that's probably a fair comment in general. And also then we've got Leicester now, and then it's so close. It's so close. I really, really had a horrible feeling that we might slip up today. I genuinely did. And maybe it's just like kind of a hangover, guilt, or whatever, but I was dreading it. I kind of stayed off social media, ignored it. But we didn't. I can't put into words once again how... I'm going to try and put into words. I'm talking bullshit, obviously. But what I say, this team's credit, the desire, it's just phenomenal, isn't it? The amount of wins we've got in a row, we just keep winning. We just keep grinding out results. Do you know how tiring it is to go against teams like Burnley after United and the Champions League exit and Spurs? But to go there, to know a Burnley team, how they're going to play against us, to go there and battle them and because they don't have a shot on target, I don't think, throughout the whole game. It shows how good we are as a team, even though it takes a while to click. That's so understandable at this stage of the season. You can't blame a team like Manchester City for being a little bit slow at the traps when they're that tired, when they've had that emotional energy being used up so quickly throughout the last few weeks, and giving the weight of the importance of this game, the weight of it on their shoulders. It's just such a hard ask. We've just got 2 more games now and 3 more games, 3 more wins, and we make history. It's going to be nerve-wracking. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be minging. But this team can do it. They should believe they can do it. With that attitude they showed today, we will do it if we keep up there. Because I think even though it's easy to get kind of downbeat about the first half an hour, it just happens. I always don't understand why people get upset over like half an hour or whatever. Like in general, you have to let it play out, because football's like a chess game, you know. Sometimes you have to see where people are going to move to react to it, and even if you start slowly, it's just kind of figuring it out, and you judge a game on the whole performance, not a small part of it, because the idea of that City kind of like start slowly, whatever, but as long as they react to it, it's a good performance. I don't mind if they're not, because sometimes it's hard, essentially. I don't mind if they're not like at the very best immediately, as long as they correct it and get into the groove. And they did against United, they did here today, and it just takes so much focus and concentration. We really are a fantastic team. Bernardo on fire as ever, Aguero with a goal. This man Aguero, he's just absolutely incredible, isn't he? He does things that make you feel so good. I took a few days off, as you noticed, in terms of the videos, because I was just tired. I had stuff on. I thought, you know what, I'll wait and I'll rest until this video. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Guys, I want to know what you thought of that game. Let me know. I know I'm seem subdued. I'm just tired. I'm very tired. But one big, come on, City. There we go. I'm going to go to sleep after this. We're top of the league again. We're top of the league. Life looks very good. And it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Guys, thank you to all these people scrolling down the side of the screen. These are my patrons. These keep this channel going. You're absolute heroes, guys. I love you all. Loads. One football, go download it. I'll see you tomorrow in a bit.